No promises. No promises in the studio that this is the last Boston Marathon vlog, but I wasn't planning to make this. But then, this morning, I opened up the Facebook page, and sure enough, the Footstrikes and the shoe choices of the elites at the Boston Marathon, now over on the Facebook page, has over 50,000 views. So when I saw that, I said, oh man, okay, this is a topic people are interested in, analyzing, looking at, and yeah, let's do it. Question of the day, what is your foot strike in a race? You know, and does it change throughout a race? Are you forefoot? Are you midfoot? Are you heel striking? And guess what? There is no right answer here, just so you know. I've seen world records set and Olympic gold medals won on the track and on the roads doing both. Whether it's mid, whether it's fore, whether it's heel, it don't matter, okay? So, and you might not have an answer because you've never had your gait cycle, your biomechanics, your foot strike, which, what is that? That is the initial contact that your foot has with the ground, okay? So heel, midfoot, or toe, or forefoot, okay? Right under the toe box. And then you also have to throw into the mix lateral and medial, meaning medial, the middle of the foot, or lateral, the outside of the foot. And the reason also we're bringing this topic up today is the elites. is the shoe choices of the elites, but also the shoe choices that you're gonna make when you're buying your trainers, your easy day shoes, your racing shoes. How you strike your foot could really impact, and it probably will really impact when you're in running shoe stores talking to the reps on the floor. You know, if you can go into them and say, hey, I'm a midfoot to lateral striker, and I usually average, 170 steps a minute. Anyway, the more data you can give to a really experienced running shoe rep, hopefully the more they're going to be able to help you get in the right shoes for your training and your racing. So that's another reason we're bringing up this topic today. And it's also down to the question of nature versus nurture. We're all born with these beautiful gifts, these legs, okay? And our legs are all unique and different. Our feet, our calf muscles, the length of our hamstrings, the elasticity of our Achilles tendons, everything makes us unique. Our fascias on the bottom of our feet, the strength of our bones, all these little factors add up to our overall biomechanics. And so again, there's no correct answer down below in the comments. I want to really emphasize that. And for example, our third son, Michael, I will be fat. It's 2023. In 2033, so a decade from now, when he's 15, will he be a forefoot striker? Because right now, he walks around the house on his toes. In fact, we have to remind him to go to walk a little more normal, like do midfoot at least, and like encourage him to walk a little more flat-footed because he likes to just run and walk everywhere on his toes, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but anyway, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. So it's this whole question about nature versus nurture, and the types of shoes you're running and walking in as a kid, all these different factors that add up to where you end up as an adult, and the type of striking of the foot that you're having, the initial contact with the ground. And what you're seeing on your screen right now, these are the elites at the Boston Marathon, okay? The men first, they came through first, all right? And I'm seeing a mixture, a huge mixture, all right? We got forefoot, I'm seeing more heel striking than I expected, frankly. Now, I will put a caveat though. This is the beginning of the race, so the runners are not tired yet, okay? I would be really curious to see all these runners, 26 miles later, turning onto Boylston Street, like what is there, or even frankly, where I was standing at mile 25, before they're really doing their final sprint, a mile to go, what their foot strike looks like compared to, in Hopkinton, because, you're fresh, and I would think that they're probably a little bit more up on their toes at the beginning versus at the end. But again, world records have been set for men and women, heel striking and forefoot striking. So, because I think there's a little bit of an assumption being made in the long distance running community when we watch middle distance runners and sprinters, specifically 800 meters and below, and even 1500 meters, but especially 800 meters and below, we're like, wow, they're definitely up on their toes, like, especially the sprinters, but even the 800-meter runners, 400-meter runners. And so we think, okay, we got to be up on our toes, but not. You got to think about 26 miles up on your toes. Is that the most efficient way for you to get over those 26 miles for your personal biomechanics? Not necessarily, okay? I'm thinking of Paul Tergat. Who remembers Paul Tergat? He was definitely a heel striker from Kenya, and he went on to, you know, set world records, and I don't know if he ever actually won a gold medal. I'll have to confirm it on the screen and the title right now, but anyway, Paul Tergat of Kenya was definitely a heel striker. So you got your forefoot, midfoot, heel, you got your medial side, your lateral side, medial in the middle of your foot, lateral on the outside of your foot. And here's the women going through as well, through Hopkinton. Old teammate from CU, I picked her out of the crowd, Laura Sweet there in the green Saucony Endorphin Elites, okay? It's looking like a midfoot strike to me there for Laura, so she's there at the front, and just really interesting, again, to watch. And what I wish I had at the beginning was a straight-on shot. Well, I guess I have a little bit of one, but they're a little further away, but like a close-up of their feet coming at us straight on, in order to really, again, analyze that. You know, are they overpronating? Are they supinating maybe a little bit? Now, I'm going to do my best to pull from the archive from Naples. Now, this is over 2 years ago now, but I think this is the best shot of my foot strike. I've definitely transitioned in the last couple of years, trying to lean a little bit more forward. In high school, I was definitely more in the heel striking category, but I think this footage from Naples would probably put me in that midfoot, maybe slightly forefoot at times, and I think probably I don't know what the averages are, but probably midfoot to heel is more typical versus midfoot to forefoot. Anyway, just putting it out there. If anybody has stats out there, I know they've done research in this department, but I don't have access to those to that research at this time. So I'm excited, and I'm so grateful that I persevered to go to Hopkinton and not just go to the finish line, because I was so tempted just to call it. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get to Hopkinton. And then 5 minutes before the elites go through, I was like, wait a minute. I have the big camera, I have another camera, and then I have my phone. So then I remembered, like literally 5 minutes before, I put it on the ground, put slow-mo, and film the shot you're seeing on your screen so that we can analyze it, break it down, and just look at, wow, you know, there's just a variety out there. And again, we're all unique, we're all different, and I think we can experiment a little. I don't think it's a bad thing to experiment a little I know I have, and I think it's worked out for me so far as trying to get a little bit more on my forefoot in the last 2 to 3 years as I've, attempted to run faster on the roads. But again, who knows? Maybe I need to explore heel striking over the 26-mile distance. I don't know. But again, that's all part of the process of being a runner, is testing out different strategies. Okay, everybody, comment of the day, shout out to Tim. This is amazing. I BQ'd on my first marathon in 2016 at the age of 47 with a 3:07. I picked up running as part of my health transformation that year. Seth, at this year's Boston, I was struggling down the stretch with cramps in both hamstrings. He was, and I witnessed it, everybody. He goes on to say, at one point after being frozen in the middle of the street, I started hobbling, and yes, he was walking. When I looked up and saw your big smile and heard the roar of the crowds, that was a cool moment. Thank you. I saw him, and I was standing next to a friend, Dave, and Dave and I were cheering this gentleman on he was basically limping down the street. I don't know if I was actually filming in that moment because I was so focused. I caught eye contact with him, and I said, 1 mile to go. You've got this. And as soon as we made eye contact, Tim, now I know your name, he took off and he started running again. And oh my goodness, I'm so glad, Tim, you found the vlog, that you actually watched the channel, and that you made it across the finish line. That was an amazing moment in Boston Marathon 2023, including filming the start, filming the elites. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, it'll be interesting to see as I continue to shoot for goals on the roads, like what I will do for my foot strike, and how I will strive to be more efficient in my biomechanics and gaits. It's fast. I'm just riffing now. It's beautiful to watch hockey players. It's beautiful to watch pole vaulters. It's beautiful to watch swimmers, because every single one of those sports, including running, has its own, the more you do it, the more you begin to just dial, and you just watch, and you're like, ooh, this is pain. This person is in pain. I can see it in their gait cycle. And then when you see somebody that's efficient and just feeling good and just cruising and is in cruise control, you're also like, okay, this person is crushing. Like there was moments at the end of the Boston Marathon where I actually said it on camera. If I can find it, I'll put the clip on the screen right now. Let's go, let's go! He looks pretty good. And where I actually said, okay, that person looks good. Like you can just see the efficiency down the road. So, oh my goodness. All right, we've got a Boston Marathon playlist. Enough geeking out for today. Boston Marathon playlist right there. Okay, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.